get started. So what we are going today is that we are going to learn all the tenses. Okay, all 16 tenses of English grammar. Okay, so it is important for you to understand that English grammar is important, and without these tenses, you won't be able to move forward. All 16 tenses in English. Okay, the first tense is present simple. For example, I eat chocolate. Second one is present continuous. I am eating chocolate. And the third one is present perfect. I have eaten chocolate. And present perfect continuous is I have been eating chocolate. Past simple, I ate chocolate. And past continuous, I was eating chocolate. Past perfect is I had been eating chocolate. And past perfect continuous, I had been eating chocolate. Future simple, I will eat chocolate. And future continuous, I will be eating chocolate. Future perfect, I will have eaten chocolate. So many chocolates I have eaten already. Okay, so the next tenses are future perfect. I will have been eating chocolate. And conditional simple. There are 4 conditional sentences, and I'll be briefly talking about these 4. Okay, I would eat chocolate. I would be eating chocolate. I would have eaten chocolate for conditional perfect. And conditional perfect continuous is I would have been eating chocolate. Okay, then comes the present tense. Okay, the present tense. So what we will discuss here in detail is the tense, examples, and the usage of it. Because if you won't be able to understand the usage of the tenses, you won't be able to use them. Okay, so it is essential for you to understand the usage of these tenses. Okay, and the tenses in present tenses categories are again 4 in number: present simple, present continuous, present perfect, and present perfect continuous. Okay, for example, I work on Tuesdays, and the usage of present simple is for general statements, facts, and habits. And for present continuous, I'm working now. So it is like actions that are happening at the moment. For example, I am speaking. Okay, so the actions that are happening right now. And the third one is present perfect. I have worked at a school. And the usage of it, the past events that has present consequences. Okay, so I'll explain each and every tense in detail, but for now, so present perfect continuous, I have been working for 3 hours now. So it's a continuous, continuous action. An action started in the past and continued in the present. Okay, let's get on with the present simple. Before I talk about present simple, I just briefly want to give you a hack. Hack here is for the singular and plural, because we'll be using these verbs in all the tenses. Okay, so they are important. So you need to understand that what to use with singular and what to use with plural. Okay, so just one simple hack is that whosoever is single, we pair them up. Okay, so if somebody is bachelor, we'll find a girl or boy for that person. Okay, so here, whichever is the singular in English, we will pair it with S or ES. And look at the beautiful stuff is that formal is singular, and we are using is was, does, has, was. So in some form, we are using S or ES with singular subject. Okay, so then if you look closely, then we, they, you, be using our were, do, have, work, and you cannot find any S or ES after the verb. Okay, so having said that, now you understand that if you have S or ES, then we are using simply, if you have a singular subject, then we are using S or ES, and otherwise the plural, we are not using any. Look at the sentence structure. So subject, base form of the verb. Base form of the verb, many of you might have studied from a school like me, and it means that base form of verb is first form of verb, and second form of verb is past tense, and the third form of verb is past participle. Okay, so except in the third person singular, we add S or ES. For example, she works in a bank. He does his homework every day. So we are adding S or ES with that. Okay, so subject, base form of the verb. And B is also an exception. I am. I am a teacher. You are a student. She or he is a banker. We are players. They are salesmen. Okay, so that's how we use them. And here I just want to give you another hack is D family. Okay, so if you have a D family, then D family is do, does, did. That is D family. And whenever D family is there, then we are using base form of the verb. We are using base form of the verb. Got it? Okay. And whenever we have H family, that is a simple hack, and it will eliminate all the confusions from your mind. H family means has, have, and had. So wherever H family appears, you'll be using past participle. When I say past participle, I mean third form of verb. Okay? In Punjabi language, it is third form of verb. Okay? Third form of verb. All right? Okay. So with H family, and another hack, that is, we use second form of verb only with simple past. Okay, only with simple past, we are using second form of verb. Is that clear? I hope that it is clearer for you now. All right, so yeah, so if you want an elaborative lesson on this, I have 30-day challenge for the 16 tenses. So if you want to enroll, I will talk about it in later, and I will post the link below so you can check that out, that how this is gonna go in detail. Okay, so that's about the present simple. Okay, so you can use it for your routine, you can use it for your habits and general statements. Okay, so daily routine, schedule, bus, plane, or train timing. For example, general facts and statement, I'm a woman, I'm a teacher, my name is Rajveer, that is a fact. Okay, and then we talk about the habit. Mary meets her friends on Friday evenings. That is a habit. Our dog eats cat's food. That's weird, but yeah, that is a habit. Okay. And scheduled event in the future. The train to London leaves at 10 a.m. That is also, we use simple present for the scheduled event in the future. Okay. And then comes the present continuous. Okay. So the present continuous is, the structure of the present continuous is subject be plus verb ing. I am teaching English. They are baking cookies. That is like, present moment. Whatever we are doing at the present moment, we are using present continuous tense. So James lives in Amritsar. That means it's more like a permanent thing that James lives in Amritsar. But if I were saying James is living in Amritsar, that can be a temporary state. So he might be living for 3 months or 6 months and later on maybe moves back to London or his country. Okay. So for example, I'm loving my new jumper right now. So that can be that, hey, I'm loving my new t-shirt shirt right now. It means that right now, in that moment, I'm loving it. That is a temporary state. Maybe after a month, I won't like my shirt that much as I'm loving it in this moment. Okay, I'm hating that song right now. Maybe I will start loving it later on. So that is more of like a temporary state. When we are talking about present continuous, I'm speaking. Maybe I will speak after 30 minutes. Okay, so that depicts more temporary state that you need to keep in your mind. And then arrangements in the future involving another person or business. I'm having my haircut on Tuesday. So that is it's a future. I'm talking about a future when it involves some other business, even though it is about my haircut. Okay, Sarah is meeting her parents tomorrow. So meeting another person in future. Okay, Kat is studying business. So that can be a temporary situation. So she's like, studying business at this moment, and she may not be studying it a year later. Okay, so we are meeting our friend next Friday in Chandigarh. That is future. We are driving home. That is like, we will arrive home, let's say in 30 minutes, but we are driving. So it's more temporary state. It is raining. So yeah, again, a temporary state. Got it? Clear? Okay, moving further. So let's talk about present perfect. So it's a third present tense. So third present tense is present perfect. So the sentence structure is subject, has, have, past participle. As I have just mentioned, that wherever H family appears, we'll be using third form of verb. That is past participle, also known as past participle. Okay, great. Then comes to talk about things that started in the past and continue to the present. Okay, so they are unfinished actions. So something that has started in the past and continued to the present. I've lived in Amritsar all my life. By the way, that is true. So I've lived in Amritsar all my life. So that is my present state. And it has started in the past and it is still continuing in the present. She's been at the university since 2020. So continuous process. So been is there, but been is like, I will talk in detail. What is the difference? Current, present, perfect. Present, but been is third form. Be was been. Okay, she's been at the university since 2020. So Brinder and I have been married since 2007. So it's a continuous affair. It has started. Our marriage has started in the past and is still continuing. Got it? I hope that I'm clear. And the next one is to talk about our experience up to the present. So she's been to Canada 3 times. So that is just about your experience. Maybe in the future she will go again. But the point here is that she's been to Canada 3 times. I've been to Goa 3 times. I've been to McLeodganj 4 times. Okay, so how many times you've been to that country or that place? We have met the Queen, so permanent affair. So you are talking about your experience. I have read all the Harry Potter books. Okay, so that is again an experience. Then to talk about past events and actions that have consequences in the present. Okay, I've eaten breakfast, so I'm not hungry. So something happened in the past and has a consequence in the present. Mike has lost his keys, so he's going to be late for work. Okay, so something in the past which has a consequence in the present. Got it? Now we have the last present tense, that is present perfect continuous tense. Present perfect continuous tense is has it like it has a different structure. Subject has, have been, plus base form of the verb, or you can call it verb ing. Okay, so that is ing. Great. So usage. It is used to talk about action that has started in the past and continued to the present. So it is used to talk about action that has started in the past and continued to the present. I've been eating chocolates. It means that I've been eating chocolates. I don't know for how long. So generally talks about how long. I've been waiting for you for 2 hours. Used to talk about things that we've been doing uninterruptedly that haven't finished. I've been watching this TV show for weeks. Henry has been replying to the emails for 2 hours now. I've been waiting for you for 2 hours now. I've been sitting in this cafe for an hour now. So you are doing something continuously, and then we use present perfect continuous tense. So started in the past and is still continuing, and which been continuing uninterruptedly and haven't finished yet. That is where we use present perfect continuous tense. It doesn't talk about your state. Okay, so yeah. Then used to talk about things that have been done recently or lately. Look, it has been snowing. I've been practicing yoga poses a lot recently. So continuing. So it's about your habit. If I would just keep it simple, so your present habits. I would say that your present habits, current habits. That I've been practicing yoga for 2 years now. I've been practicing yoga for 2 months now. I haven't been feeling well lately. She's been feeling well lately. So, okay. So it means that which you have, things which you've done lately, recently, so you can use present perfect continuous. Okay. And with this, we are done with present tenses. Okay. So then we have past tenses. So again, there are 4 past tenses: past simple, past continuous, past present, past perfect continuous. For example, I worked abroad last summer, and the usage of it is past about the finished actions. So everything has finished in the past. So there is nothing is left. For example, I I visited my parents last summer. So that means that it is done and finished business. Past continuous, I was working at 2 p.m. yesterday. So continued action at some point in the past. So something which you've done in the past. Okay, I was sleeping at 5 a.m. yesterday, and today I wasn't. So maybe, so you can just talk about a continual action. Past perfect. I had worked there for 2 years before I got the promotion. So here only the takeaway is that past action that happened before another past action. So that differentiate past perfect from past simple and past continuous. Okay, so an action that happened before another past action or time. I will talk about it in detail. But yeah, so past perfect continuous. I had been working there for 2 years before I finally got my promotion. Had been working. So past action that has continued to a past point in time. I had been working there for 2 years before I finally got my promotion. I had been working there for 2 years before I joined another company. So anything is possible. So some action continued in the past at some point in time. So the takeaway is that it's like, time is mentioned. Okay, so I will talk about it later. Now let's discuss past simple. Past simple, native speaker generally, majorly they talk in past simple 50% of the time. Okay, so the structure is really simple, subject plus past simple. As I have mentioned that only with simple past you're using second form of verb. So that is quite simple and done. Okay, usage. Used to talk about past finished actions. We often say when that happened. Okay, so the takeaway is that time is mentioned. Time is mentioned. Okay, so that is past simple. I went to bed at 10 p.m. last night. Denise ate pancakes for breakfast. That is in the morning. My husband bought me flowers last week. He didn't, by the way, but I'm hoping that he will this week. Okay, so the time is mentioned. So the usage. Used to talk about what was happening at a specific action in the past. Tom was cooking dinner at 7 p.m. yesterday. So background information that past tense is also, so the past continued. Past continued tense is, it has a different sentence structure. That is subject, was, were, plus first form of verb with ing. So it is used to talk about what was happening at the specific action in the past. Tom was cooking dinner at 7 p.m. yesterday. Tom was cooking. So continued action was happened at 7 p.m. Used to give background. So Harpreet was speaking to me whilst I was recording a video. It was raining when I went outside. Okay, so something was happening. So to give background information, for example, I saw a snake when I was on the way to the market. When I was on the way to the market, it was raining when I went outside. So subject, again, was verb plus verb ing. Usage, used to say an ongoing action interrupted by another action. And it is usually paired with past simple. We were eating dinner when he arrived. They were chatting about that holiday when Ben called them. They were talking about an important topic when my sister arrived. Okay, so that is that something, some action is interrupted by another action, and the clause would be in past simple. Now, past perfect. Past perfect is about that we used to talk about events that happened before another event up to a certain point in the past. Okay, so they're often used in the past simple. Okay, so that is followed by past simple. So past perfect's structure is subject, had, plus past participle. Subject plus had plus past participle. When I arrived at the bus station, the bus had already left. I had cleaned all my house before the guests arrived. She had worked in that company for 5 years before it closed. So the clause would be in the past simple. That is, before it closed, before the guests arrived, when I arrived at the bus station. So that is clause. Okay, so that is past perfect. So some action happened, occurred before another event. Now we have past perfect continuous. Subject had been plus base form of verb ing. Verb, base form of verb. That is first form of verb. So native use past perfect and past perfect continuous interchangeably. That is like, they change. But there would be a distinction. I will talk about it shortly, but let's discuss this. I had worked there for 5 years when the company closed. I had been working there for 5 years when the company closed. Okay, so that's like, you can interchange them. So, but you should use past perfect continuous in these two situations specifically. That is that to talk about an action in the past that continued up to a certain time and continued after it. Or used to talk about a repeated action in the past up to a certain point. For example, they'd been walking for hours before they decided they were lost. The orchestra had been practicing for months before the concert happened. So something, some action continued up to a certain time and continued after it, or just, stopped before the concert happened. So it is followed by simple past. Okay, so you can use it for the repeated actions as well. Now we have future tenses. Okay, so future tenses are about like, tense, example, and the usage. Tenses like future simple, future continuous, future perfect continuous. For example, I will work in the summer. That is future simple. Will. That is the simplest form of future simple. Okay. Events or actions we believe will happen in the future. And future continuous, an action at a specific moment in the future. That is, I will be working at 2 p.m. tomorrow. And future perfect, an action that is planned or expected to happen before a certain time in the future. I will have worked there for 2 years on Sunday. And for future perfect continuous, used to talk about an action that will continue up to a certain point in the future. I will have been working there for 2 years on Sunday. I will have been working there for 2 years on Sunday. Okay, and then future simple. So things we believe will happen in the future, and the sentence structure is quite simple. Subject, will, verb, that's it. Okay, so I'm sure you'll love this book. I think it will rain tomorrow. and making offers and promises. I will help you to carry those boxes. Richard will call you tomorrow. My bad. 2 W's. Okay. Usage. Facts in the future. So the third usage. First usage was things we believe will happen in the future. Second is making offers and promises. And the third one is facts in the future. It will be our 16th anniversary next year. Okay, so that is facts in the future, future simple. And we have future continuous. The sentence structure would be subject will be base form of the verb, that is verb ing. So it is used to talk about actions that will be in progress at a certain time in the future. These actions will start and end in the future, but we don't know when. I'll be eating dinner at 8 p.m. tomorrow. I'll be playing tennis tomorrow. So when you have a certain time or when you don't have a certain time, you can use future continuous. I'll be playing tennis tomorrow. I'll be playing tennis at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Okay. Then we have future perfect. Subject will have plus past participle. Usage. Used to talk about actions or states that will be completed. Just keep that, bear that in your mind, and wherever we are using H family, there would be past participle, that is third form. Okay, so used to talk about actions or states that will be completed before a certain point in the future, and it is paired with the time clauses. Okay, I will have retired by the time I'm 65, by the time. Okay, by then. I will have finished the popcorn before the film starts, before. Okay, that is time clause. Come over by 9 p.m. My parents will have left by then. Oops. Okay, so that is future perfect. Future perfect continuous. So the sentence structure would be subject will have been plus verb ing. So it is used to talk about actions will be continuing at a certain point in the future. I will have been living in Chandigarh for 3 months in August. Okay. When I retire next month, I will have been working here for 3 years. It talks about the time, the continued action at a certain point in the future. When I retire next month, continued action. I will have been working here for 3 years. So I continuously worked for 3 years. By next month, I have simplified it. Then we have the last, no, we don't use them tenses for states. So these continuous tenses, future perfect continuous, I will have had my car for 5 years this Christmas. We can't use them for finished actions. You should use future perfect instead. That is future perfect. I will have had my car for 5 years this Christmas. You cannot say that I will have been having my car for 5 years this Christmas. That would be completely wrong. Okay? So don't use this sentence for states, for just facts. Okay? Okay, the conditionals. Conditionals are 4 types. I will just, talk about them briefly because I cannot over elaborate it, but you should know because we are using, and natives use these conditional tenses quite often. So there are again 4 types: conditional simple, conditional continuous, conditional perfect, and conditional perfect continuous. So conditional simple is used for the hypothetical action in the present. I will work abroad if I could. Okay, so The second conditional continuous is, so hypothetical continuous action in the present. I would be working abroad now if I wasn't stuck here. I would be living in Chandigarh if I wasn't working here. Okay, so that is like, hypothetical continuous situation, action in the present. Conditional perfect, hypothetical actions in the past. I would have worked abroad last year, but I did not get my visa. So hypothetical actions in the past. I would have worked abroad last year, but I did not get my visa. And then conditional perfect continuous, hypothetical action that started in the past and continued. I would have been working here for longer if I got my visa earlier. Conditional simple, hypothetical action in the present, and the structure would be subject, would, past, were, first form. I would travel in the first class. She would walk to work, but they usually can't stand alone. They are coupled with another idea. Okay, I would travel in the first class if I won the lottery. She would walk to work if she lived closer. Now, pay attention. Okay, so would, so it would be followed by simple past. Okay, so you will use first form of verb when you're using would, that is a model, but it is followed by simple past. Okay, so hypothetical situation. I would travel in the first class. I would travel the world if I won the lottery. Okay, then conditional continuous. So it is used to talk about unfinished or continuing hypothetical action. The sentence structure would be subject, would be, base form verb, ing. I would be writing emails if I was at work. Well, I'm not at work. So I'm not writing any emails. Unfinished or continuing hypothetical action, which is not happening. I'm just stating. She would be walking her dog right now if she hadn't broken her ankle. Well, she isn't because she has broken her ankle. Okay, so conditional continuous. Then conditional perfect. The sentence structure would be subject, would have, past participle. The usage is used when we want to hypothetically change the past. Well, we cannot change the past, but hypothetically change. I would have told John not to come. Okay, she would have bought that house, but we couldn't afford it at the time. She would have cooked the bigger meal, but she didn't know you were coming. Okay, so now another thing is you can use it with could have, should have, but the meaning will change. Okay, I should have told John not to come. She should have bought that house, sorry. She should have cooked the bigger meal. So the point here is that the whole meaning will change if you will use another model. Conditional perfect continuous. The sentence structure would be subject, would have been, plus verb ing. So it is used to talk about hypothetical results of an action that started in the past. For example, I would have been wearing my red dress if I had watched it. He would have been working in Dubai if he hadn't had taken the job in London. Okay, so you again can replace it with should have, could have, but the meaning will change. Okay, so that is about all 16 tenses under 30 minutes. Well, I couldn't complete them in under 30 minutes. So yeah, but on an average, yeah, I've done a great job. Thank you for being present. I hope that you have learned a great deal.